everybody. Welcome to Buzzing About Romance. I am Becky, and joining me for this episode is Jenny. Hi, Jenny.
Hey, Becky.
And Amanda. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Becky.
And Leah. Hello, Leah.
Hello, Becky.
And back for the first Wednesday of 2025 is Lindsey. Hi, Lindsey.
Hi.
We missed your whole face, just so you know.
I'm so excited. I'm going to be here for like many Wednesdays to come.
Oh, exciting,
Yay.
exciting. Okay, so I feel like we have a lot to say about this title. There are big thoughts in the room tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So the book this week that we're talking about is Unexpected Rush by Jaci Burton. Who wants to say all the things we have to know before we start?
I can. Okay, so this book was released February 16th, 2016. The tropes are football, sports romance, football, best friend sister, secret relationship, friends to lovers, forbidden romance. The series is play by play, and this is book 11, and they are all standalones. And they're not all in the same world either. Like
It's different teams and there's different sports represented.
yeah,
and
like it's the same world, but they're not always connected either.
Yeah.
It is single third person point of view. The put out percentage was 42%. If you do the audiobook, the narrator is Lucy Malone.
Don't do the
I guess there's
audiobook.
thoughts on that. It is available in Hoopla and AnyPlay.
Don't do the audiobook. Let's just be real honest, and we're just going to start from the
Is
beginning.
it bad?
Don't do the audio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's bad.
Okay. The problem with it, the audiobook is bad, but the other problem with it is that it's third person point of view, which makes it complicated.
See, and I don't mind third person single
I
POV.
don't
We've
either.
read a couple
Yeah.
But
recently.
it's not single. Like, you get in his head, too.
There
'cause
is some
she's
head
not-
hopping.
She's not talking about her heart on.
Well, do not read Whitney,
Yeah,
my
she might
love.
be.
That is third person head hopping. Okay, it's also, I think we also have to talk about the fact this book is 9 freaking years old.
But
Yeah.
it is not a book that has aged well. Like
It did not age well at all.
feels like, I mean, we've read some older books recently, like since we
Yeah.
started this whole like
Yeah,
experiment.
the Jennifer Cruzy
And
one
The
with
Jennifer
head
Cruzy,
hopping, third
that one
person.
aged well. Like we have read
Nora Roberts.
multiple books, the Nora Roberts, I'm blanking
Others,
on any
yeah.
like name at the moment, but
Well,
like
That
they
Suzanne
aged
Wright was
fairly
that
well.
was that PNR third person,
Yes.
and I
Yeah.
think it was a good 14, 15 years old.
Yeah, it's like 2013.
Yeah. Well,
So-
not 15 years old, like,
Oh.
11, 12.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
book does
13
not
is-
age well, and it made
Yeah,
me
it's
so
older than this
sad.
one.
I had not read this one. I had read others in the beginning of this series. I had not read this one. And I thought if we picked one later in the series that it would, be maybe more modern and we wouldn't feel like it was so dated, because this series started back in 2011.
Yeah, so I hadn't read Jaci Burton at all before. So when we had picked this book, I was like, I want to go back and read some of the earlier ones to see if it, to see how it goes. So I read the first one a couple weeks ago and I didn't love it, but granted it was older and I was like, well, hopefully it will, I will like this newer one better. I liked it less.
Yeah, well, in the
Ooh.
very first one, it has other woman drama, and the agent is a bitch.
Yes.
And-
And that, yeah.
And it has nicely placed anal for no reason in
Yeah.
that book.
Do they use lube though?
No.
Um,
Yeah, I think he does.
Um,
Does he? I thought it was
I-
more spit.
No, I'll have to go look because I feel like I thought about it when it happened and I wasn't like ragey, so I feel like there was a yes.
There was
but,
some lube, something.
yeah, but
I wasn't
I don't know.
ragey.
I've read a few books since then, but yeah, I really wanted to like that first one, and I liked it just a little better than this one, but there was really not much
I
difference.
remember liking the third book. The second book is the agent's redemption story with the brother from the first book, But the
Yeah.
third book is the sister, and the hero in that book is a hockey player, and it's very swoony. She's working at the
Okay.
family's bar, and it's much better. This book was not better.
It's boring AF.
Yes, I was not interested in these people at all.
Well, it's not even that. Like, it was just, there was so much stuff in it. Like, I did not jump to the end, but I did skip a good 6 chapters, like towards beginning, and I was not lost. I did
Because
not miss
nothing happened.
anything.
Nothing happens.
Literally, like nothing
He made
dynamic
chicken,
happened.
and we got the whole story before the recipe.
And that's just it. This book has so much telling. They just
So
tell
much.
us everything.
So much.
And the characters are so flat and one-dimensional. Like,
Well, and
Yeah.
they're kind of meh. Like, she like wants him, he doesn't want like to ruin the friendship of the brother.
A bro code.
The
Lindsay,
brother.
what are your thoughts here?
Okay, I'm gonna just read from my notes because I
Oh,
really
God.
love how spicy my notes are. First of all, she's his interior decorator for his new house. Like, that is so overdone in football. Like, can some football player somewhere please just hire me for like a cool $100,000 to interior decorate your house? I personally don't have any experience, but like, I want to know where this money is. Is this really a thing? Like, that's how they all meet. There's got to be other things. And I think like that particular thing only feels overdone to me because of how common it is now in newer romances. So like going back and reading this, I don't think I would have had a problem if I read it like 9 years ago when it came
Yeah.
out. But now it's like meh. It was just so meh. It started off okay. I didn't dislike the first few chapters, but then it was just meh overall. There's just nothing exceptional or stand out. It's very juvenile. They're both adults and they're playing games over really dumb stuff to start. The dumb stuff they play games over. He thinks he's her rebound. Like, she's not even, I don't know, whatever, maybe.
Not even upset.
Trying to trick him.
Yeah, she
into-
wasn't upset at all.
No.
She's trying to trick him into giving in, and he's resisting for good reason because of the friendship with her brother. But they like do this whole thing all over, and it's like the whole thing, it's like a will they, won't they kind of thing. And then like they have the secret sex trip to San Francisco. I call it that in my notes.
The secret sex trip.
Where it's like they're saying like we're gonna do sex only, but they both know they have real feelings, and it's just like
Yeah.
it's so dumb. Like, don't commit to have sex with someone that you're trying not to have feelings for when you already have feelings for. Like, let's just be.
But Harmony's the one who kept insisting on the secrecy. And
No, she didn't want the
No, it was
secrecy. She
him.
wanted everybody to
Okay,
tell him.
yeah.
Like, she wanted him to tell.
I
And he
felt
was
like-
no, we can't tell. No, she got pissed at one point about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I did
she-
like that,
like,
to be honest, because she's
I
like, I
didn't
don't, like, I'm done.
That should have been the conflict point. Like, that should have been
Yeah.
the conflict versus like him telling the brother. The conflict point should be like, well, if you don't like me enough, like if you're in a relationship where somebody's supposed to be head over heels in love with you and they don't want to tell their best friend about you because of whatever, like, bye.
Yeah.
His ass. Sorry.
well,
I
and
don't
she
think-
doesn't stand
That's
up to
fair.
herself. She does not stand
She
up for
doesn't
herself.
really stand up
No.
for herself either.
Not even to her brother. Like, that's your brother. Who the freak cares?
Well, like, she
I'd
says
push mine down the
stuff, like,
stairs for free.
she says stuff, but then she's like, but there's no follow through. Like, if my brother acted like that, I would cut him off for a while. Like,
Yeah, I
like-
mean, and none of it gets addressed until like after 90%.
well, and
Like,
then the
nothing
mom is the
happened.
one that takes care
Yeah.
of it. Like, she gives him a lecture. It's like your mom should not be lecturing you about how to treat your sister when you are a 30-year-old man.
That's why
Well-
it came out to be very juvenile because it's just like these people don't behave like
Well,
adults.
The mama has to teach them life like skills, cooking, cleaning. Everybody has to do their share. Like, I wanted to sing the cleanup song. I mean, you know, I won't sing it for you. One of the things that bugged me was the lack of character development. Like,
Yeah.
everybody's
They're
the
just very
same from the
flat.
beginning to the end. And that makes me really sad because that's what I expect out of current romances, not stuff pre-2020.
Yeah.
That was something I struggled with because like neither of the characters have individual conflicts they're overcoming. And like for me to buy an HEA, usually one of them has a conflict, an individual thing they're trying to overcome or achieve, some kind of character development. And like the relationship is solidified in like working through that conflict together. And there was none of that in this. Like the entire conflict was about telling her brother and his best friend about the relationship.
okay.
And that's not enough.
So one of the things that I think is interesting is, so in a bad book, like if we have a book that's overly telly, we can skip to the dialogue, and the dialogue will help bring it from being, what the hell did I just read, up
But
to
this dialogue
like
was not
a
great.
2.5 star. This dialogue is as if a 7-year-old wrote it.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially
I
if you take
like
out the other
you.
part.
Well, even the
It was
cringy
not
sex
great.
scene. You make me hungry, Harmony. You make me hard. Like, that's not a sentence that a grown butt man should say.
I mean, it is like kindergarten.
You said it with
level
like such
pretty
fun
tough,
inflection
maybe
there.
that's skill. I don't know.
Sorry,
I
Lindsay,
just
I
kept
didn't mean to
thinking
talk
of
over you.
cake. I don't know. I really want a slice of cake. And this whole book, I don't know. It was bad, you guys. And I'm so
I
sorry
know.
we read this
That's
book.
why I was like, because I text Becky, I'm like,
Yeah.
did you read this? And she was not on the same page.
I was
as me
not
yet.
on the same page.
So she tells me like, oh, I read some of her other stuff. It's okay. We were not talking about the same book. So I was like, oh, okay. I'll keep trying to read it.
No,
And
I
then-
DNF'd.
Becky and I
not.
were
And then Jenny
talking
DNFs
today.
late.
We were talking today, and she's like, "Do you have pop?" I was like, "Yeah, but it was kind of late. I think I took a picture of it. It was 42%." She's like, "That's not late." I'm like, "It felt late."
It felt so late.
I
It-
think
it
that was
did, it
about
felt-
this. I think that's about the point that I said, no, thank you.
Yeah, that's when I was like, because then it just goes on and on. And like you said, there's like nothing happening.
That's the thing. Like they visit his brother in like San Francisco, and then
And then we get
When
his
they go
brother's
to, like-
POV.
yes,
And I was so
I
thrown off.
forgot
was
about
like,
that.
why?
We did get the
Why?
We go to the
brother's like
family
head.
ranch. We go to the family's ranch. Like I forgot that too. Like they do go. That whole
But
thing.
they couldn't spend any time together because
Yeah,
then people
nothing
might
happens.
know.
So
But they went together.
Yes. Well, the whole
No, she
family, like
flew
her
down with her
family,
mom.
with his
Okay,
family.
okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
Her brother was there.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
think
gotcha.
if we were going to rate this book, this is probably the cringiest book that we have reviewed on Sip and Discuss. And that includes the Megan Quinn book. Just want to say that. This is more
yeah.
cringy than that was.
Guys, this is not more cringy than Amy Dawes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tie. It's a pretty close
say
tie.
there are moments where it's a tough choice, like who is the cringiest. But honestly, that the last 10% of Amy Dawes wins.
Well,
I didn't even make it that far because it was so.
Honestly, Lynn,
The
just go
ghost
to the
can
last like
keep that.
15% of that book and read it, and you'll be like, "Oh, that's a really great
Hey,
book."
Leah, I have some like science facts for you. The
Ooh,
same
I like
skin,
science facts.
the same skin that covers your eyelid is also the same skin as your foreskin. If you had it, it's all the same.
If I had
If
it.
you had it.
okay, we're going back to something else. I still
I
have
like-
I'm still having
I like that
stomach
you
bug
have to
effects, so
preface
let's
that.
not
I just
like
this
I'm
book
still trying to
was
get over the norovirus, so let's go back.
this book was just bad. There's like
It was not a good book. Like
I
it
don't think
just-
there's anything redeeming. Like even at least like with the stupid Amy Dawes book, we got a goat.
Well, I
We
think
did have a
too with
goat.
even with the Amy Dawes and the Megan Quinn, you're expecting some of that potty humor. Like they
Yeah.
kind of lean into that. I was
They
not
do.
expecting that here.
No.
Kind
Well,
of,
but I
you
don't
know,
even think like
or
it
it's
was
not potty humor,
intentional
but I wasn't
potty
expecting
humor. It
the
just was
cringe.
like
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Middle school.
Well, and I
Yeah.
have to I had to say, so this whole month was dedicated to football. So is there anything about this book that anyone else wants to talk about? Because I want to talk about like a little bit more generalities before I.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like how much football it had in it. None.
No, it had no football.
Almost none except till the end, and it was barely there.
Yeah, did not make it that far.
Yeah, that there was no sport. I mean, no real value of sports.
And it's just training camp starting. It's not even real football
Yeah.
season.
Well, but I don't think she even got I don't think it was right though. Because like training camp, like you go and you stay. At
Well,
Yeah,
training
it
camp.
was like
Yeah, it
still
was
like
not right.
summer. Yeah.
But
I
what
don't-
other book
Like-
did I just read recently that like he left 2 weeks early for training camp for football, and I'm like, he went to Los Angeles, came back. I can't remember now what book I read. I'll have to
Yeah,
look.
like training camp
was really
is,
bad.
Like July. They do like heavy, it's like 2 or 3 weeks of like heavy intensive like like camp that they
Yeah.
stay overnight.
They usually
and
do them
then
at
they have-
universities.
And he was drinking the
Yeah.
whole time,
yeah.
like
Yeah,
drinking
like
alcohol,
weird-
eating like not great food.
Giant
And I was like, that is not
cheeseburgers.
happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
His diet was horrible. Like so like the football was not, it was non-existent, and when it was not right.
So Stacy says in the chat that this is the timeline of the series, so it felt in time with the previous book. Stacy went back and she's read these books, and I don't think this is her favorite, but she has enjoyed these
She
books.
said it was her least favorite, but
Oh.
she liked the other ones, especially all wound up.
Well, and there's one where he's a NASCAR driver. I liked that one. But okay, so we dedicated this whole month to football.
Okay.
And if we look at these books, outside of last week's Interception, I don't think any of them were great.
Wait, what? You didn't like the Eden Finley?
It was okay, but it wasn't. I didn't love it. No, it was okay, but it was
There were
not.
things that we didn't like about it.
Yeah, there were things I didn't like.
I
about it,
liked all the ones we did this month except this one.
except this one.
So
Yeah,
I didn't read.
I enjoyed the books that we read this month, and I would I mean, not this one, but like, and I would read all of the authors again, but I wouldn't, it's not like I would be clamoring to read them
Yeah.
again though. Like,
I would like to try Eden Finley's other books. This one just didn't do it for me. And Maggie Rawdon, I think she has a really great voice. But the character, I think that's it. And even in last week's book, none of these characters were overly dynamic. Like, I don't feel like if I looked at all 4 of these books, none of them were like, oh, that was Book Boyfriend, or that was like a really exceptional story, or there's a standout character, a standout moment.
Have you read Carla Sorensen?
she's
You don't
not a
like her.
huge fan.
I'm not a
Oh,
fan.
She's hit or
Slow
miss.
Burn.
Yeah. I like the sports ball books. So that's just it. Like, there are football books I love. You know, I love those Tracy Wolf books. What other football have we read? I know
Kristen Callahan.
Kristen Callahan.
And Samantha Whiskey's football series. Was
I
pretty
do
good.
like Samantha Whiskey's. That first one is a secret baby. That's a delight.
She's
Or no,
a
a surprise pregnancy, not a secret baby.
That was surprise pregnancy.
Yeah.
yeah, I
I
mean,
don't know if she has a secret baby.
I don't know, and maybe we didn't pick like that Maggie Rawdon book is not my favorite, but I really enjoy like two of her books in her other series. But
I liked her
think it's
voice.
just yeah,
But I think with
it's
Maggie Rawdon, that's the thing. Like her writing style was really good. I like the banter that she created.
Yeah.
Her characters in that story just he was just kind of meh.
yeah, and I also think too, like I think you needed to read the prequel. Like
Then it should be
100%
part of the
fair.
book. It should be
so,
part
yeah,
of the book.
No, I get
I
it.
agree with that statement.
I just that is really frustrating to me.
Yeah,
That when
that's
authors
Yeah,
do
no, I
that.
get it.
Like, I have zero issue reading a long book
Yeah.
if I have to have it to lay out characters, right? But you want to throw another 100 pages. What's the harm in just making it a full thing?
I mean, it could have been just a prologue. Like if I didn't read it, but tighten it up,
Yeah.
make it a prologue, and then you're good to go. But yeah, like this book, like the characters were just kind of boring. Like there wasn't anything like that was
No.
stand out. Like he was honestly like not very macho.
Well, okay.
I know that's not the word that I want to use, but like when I think of a football player, I think of like definitely more
So
like
would 2016 have been the time when the whole like metrosexual was the vibe, or is that earlier? I know I'm dating myself.
Yeah. I think 2016 was like popped collar culture and that icky chaos.
So, and I also wonder if Jaci Burton's age shows in how she wrote this.
Maybe.
You know, because she's a little older than I am. And the character felt like he was straight out of 1999.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, too, like I like third person head hopping.
Yeah.
Like I like
I do
Brother's
too.
Best Friend. Like I like a lot of things that this book is generally, but it just, you know, and if I had read these books back then, I might have had a different opinion, especially if I'd been reading the series the whole time. Like it might have been just one of those ones that I would be like, I don't care if it ages well or not. I still love it. You know what I mean? Like I think Jen Ellen is like, you know, she said that they're always gonna be like ones that she like enjoys. So like I get that.
I get it. And there's some nostalgia about this series, to be
Yeah.
honest. It was a multi-sport series. It was kind of the first of its kind. The only other one that was kind of similar writing multi-sport like this would have been Lorelei James, which is interesting because both of them have cowboy romances that they write opposite of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, typically, I think Jaci Burton had like this Bluebell series that was like Small Town Texas, and I liked that. This, I don't know what it was about this book, and I don't think it was a mood.
I think part of it was too long for like what happened in the book. Like honestly, this would have been fine like as a novella with 200 less pages.
Yeah.
Because there's so much stuff we didn't need. Like we didn't need multiple dinners at the her mom's house. Like we didn't need so much extra. Like
There was a lot of things that happened that didn't really have a purpose
yeah.
for the plot. Like the San Francisco trip didn't really have a purpose for the greater plot. It was just something fun to put in there. The trip to the ranch, that was also not like it had potential, but it wasn't really like there was nothing of substance. So like there's things that happen and it was just like filler because it didn't feed in to the larger plot. Like I think there could have been some decisions made differently to like bring those things up. Like they're also out at dinner sometime when like they take their picture together and he's like, I don't want our picture taken together, and she's like, well, I don't care. And like that didn't even develop into anything. Like there were so many opportunities for like something to develop and create conflict.
Yeah.
And they just fell flat. Like they just happened with no greater purpose.
The other piece of this too is they're an interracial couple. And I think that this is, again, where people of color are right. Because she does things, like with her hair and such, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
You know, like she just got it wet and slept on it. And you can do that, but it, you know, your hair would be a mess and frizzy the next morning.
Yeah.
Like there was little stuff within that I was like, oh, this is bad.
Does the like hypoglycemia ever come up again, or is it just like that one? Because I
It was
thought
just
that would be
once, I
like,
think.
Other than he just keeps mentioning that she needs to eat and she keeps telling him that she's fine and that's it.
okay.
Yeah. Like it was like something that happened and then forgotten about.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It seemed like she wanted to go a lot of different directions with the book, and she like started that like, and then she just moved to something else.
Yeah,
So,
from what
like-
Stacy said, it's like maybe it's like an in-between book. She said it's like catching up on some other couples and an intro into the next book, and
Mhm.
maybe this was just one she just wasn't like
Yeah, because the brothers
into
book
or
that
something.
the San Francisco brother is the next book.
so because I wonder, so that's what I was going to say. I wonder if this is a situation where, because he's a character in the previous book, so I wonder if this is a situation where the readers were clamoring for his story or maybe
Yeah.
her
Maybe.
story, and they and
Well,
sh-
it might have, maybe she didn't really want to write his book
Yeah.
and she just felt like she had to
or she was under contract.
Yeah.
for that.
Because, I mean, I think this is is this a Berkeley series, I think? And she still is under contract with them. Like, she's a label exclusive over there. Where I think if this is Berkeley, then she's a label exclusive
look.
over there.
We should have put Ginger Scott on our lineup for football.
I thought she wrote baseball.
No, she's only written like one baseball, she's written a couple of baseball, but she writes multi-sports. A lot of her books are football. She also has a hockey one. She has swimming. She pretty much only writes sports. She does have baseball, but she's got others too. Quite a few football.
Well,
Um,
Lindsay, I think you were in the planning session when we were
I
picking
know,
titles.
but I'm
So
just
Yeah,
about
it is
it
Berkeley.
now. I'm like, why
Berkeley.
did I not suggest this before? Especially because, like, I think her last release was a football book, and I read it, and like, I have not been.
You liked it a lot.
I love her books. I really like her books. I get a lot of them secondhand from somebody in Minnesota. Apparently gave their Goodwill like 2,000 romance books, and I keep getting like randomly I'll look at the used section on Amazon, and then I'll get like a $2 book from them.
Nice.
And then it comes like signed.
nice. I will say, I think that I wish we had done a Kristen Callahan title over this title.
Well, I will say, like, in the positive, that I've had Jaci Burton on my list for a very long time, and I'm glad I can now scratch it off.
I was going to say, you
like
can now.
yeah. So I mean, now I know.
Now you
So
know.
it's like it's one large series that I can take off of my
You just
backlist
removed
binge.
like 15 books from your TBR. Look at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
See?
because this is a long series.
And it's disappointing. I'm sad. I mean, the Eden Finley book was okay. The Maggie Rawdon book was okay. Intercepted was okay. I think it was the best of the three. And then this one was obviously terrible. I feel like we disappointed all of the football romance readers this month.
Mine was just on like a downhill slope all month.
All month.
It started.
Yeah,
It started
it
on
went
a
down,
high.
yeah.
just went down in flames.
Yeah, I mean, I liked all of the other three, so I don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Anything
enjoyed
bad
the
to
other
say.
ones too. Like there were things that I didn't like about them. But
Yeah,
overall,
small.
I
like
didn't
them.
hate them. I just didn't. None of them are like
Love them.
standing out exceptional. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I can't believe we waited so long to read this book.
I
Yeah.
really liked the Eden Finley one. I just didn't. It just wasn't football-y to me. Like, it could have been any sport. That was my only real criticism about that one. Like,
Yeah.
that was it.
Nope, I agree. Okay, so because none of us liked this book, well, we'll do our thumbs up, thumbs down, and then we'll talk about books that maybe they should read instead. Jenny, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs down. I DNF'd at like 40%.
Amanda, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs down. This one's just not for me.
Leah, thumbs up, thumbs down.
It's a thumbs down. I couldn't get into this one really at all.
Lindsay, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
This is a thumbs down for me also, and it makes me sad to say that because for whatever reason, nostalgia-wise, I have Jaci Burton as someone I always think, oh, she writes really great books. After reading this, I now doubt all of my past thoughts. Like,
But I wonder though if it's just this book.
Didn't she write Cowboys? I thought she wrote.
she does.
does.
She does. And she has like a small
Okay.
town Texas. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I didn't even, when we had her on our list, I was like, oh, I forgot she wrote sports. I didn't really think about that. I thought about her Cowboys, and I didn't remember those being bad.
Yeah. But again, how long ago did we read those versus now?
Well, 10,000 years ago?
Right.
before I had gray hair. I don't know.
Before you had gray hair.
So are there
That's
other
my favorite frame of metric because it could be like anytime.
Are there
This is
any
true.
football romances that we didn't cover? Obviously, there are tons that you like that you think people should read.
I think Ginger Scott. I don't know why I didn't include her, but she has so many good ones. The Wallflower and the Running Back is one, and then I think what is the last one? It's like Home. It's like Home something or other. Um, I really like her books. They're really good. I like Carla Sorensen a lot. I know like people have mixed feelings about her slow burn, but I think she does football really well.
He
Uh,
does.
I really love her last book.
Yeah.
That was really good.
I didn't
She
read
does
that one yet.
she rarely disappoints. And she's not somebody who changed her formula, which I like a lot. Like she keeps writing what she
Well,
wants
and
to
not
write.
all of her books are slow burns either, so that's something just
But she does write a lot of slow burns.
Her books are just not
does.
for me. I mean, I can
Fine.
accept
I
that.
mean,
Yeah.
there's
I know
plenty of
people love
books
her.
that are for you that are not for me.
Right. And
Yeah.
I love that people love her. It's just not for me. Her books make me ragey.
I haven't read like some of the authors that are really popular that have. Oh, I like Rebecca Genshak. She has a couple in her. She does multi sports too. Her writing style is very similar. Not writing style, I'd say, but like her world building is very similar to like Ginger Scott, where they write more new adult, like college age romance, but they do a lot of like multi-sport stuff because of that. So it's like interconnected characters who are like cross different sports teams and things like that. And she has a couple sprinkled throughout her series that are football. We talked about Maggie Rodon and Kristen Callahan. Um,
Yeah.
trying to think.
Does anybody else have any other football romances that we haven't talked about that you think more people should read?
Lindsay's got my list pretty much. I mean, I don't read, I watch a lot of football. I don't read a lot of football.
Yeah.
So, there may be a reason why.
Well, I wonder if it's one of those things where the majority of us as Americans have some even secondhand knowledge to football. Even if we're not active football fans, football watchers, we know enough because it's in our school systems and stuff like that. So I do wonder if it's one of those that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
We have expectations of it because we know what we've seen. Do you know what I mean? And like, so if you get the sport wrong, we're all going to know. You can't just pass it off. And if I look,
Well, and
go ahead.
football, like in the States, is so like advertised, like because I know like when the Steelers go to training camp, like there is like chaos that ensues, and I mean, yes, granted, I only live like 20 minutes from the training camp, so like it's different, but like that's the thing, like there's so much coverage about like when the teams are going to training camp and all those things, and so it's very frustrating when the facts are not right.
Well, the other thing is like the teams I think football is hard to do from a sports perspective because the teams are giant. The rosters
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
massive. Like we're talking about like 50 plus players versus like hockey. There's a lot more limited players. And then you also have situations with football where like even the different lines, like the offensive line, the special teams, like all of those groups are much bigger. So you get like some player dynamics, but it's just such a big group of people that it's like a lot of things that you tend to like in sports romances. I think like
Yeah.
how is that easily done in football?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, we talked about that last week. The
Yeah, we did.
camaraderie. I think the book last week was the first one we kind of felt like true team
Well,
building.
because they were both on the D line though, like that was like
Yeah.
a big part of it. Like they were both on the defensive line.
No, they were
so-
offense, quarterback, and tight end.
Oh, that's right. It was QB1. Sorry. Which one am I thinking of?
I don't know. I don't know, yeah. I will say, like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna read some other football. So I tried to read In a Rush by Kate Canterbury. Don't do it, friends. Don't do it.
It's
The
disappointing.
football
My kids
or
don't
It's
like
what's
football.
the what's the
He-
don't do it? Okay.
It's football. It is football. He's like the star quarterback, like the who is the douche nugget that used to be in New England?
Tom
Tom
Brady.
The one with the
Brady.
bad face. Yes,
Ugh.
that
Ugh.
guy. So he's
The
kind of like
horrible announcing voice.
tons of,
Oh
well,
my
he's not that
gosh,
guy,
yeah.
but he's like the starting quarterback. He's got huge celebrity status. He's got fans and deals, and he's all over the place. But he's just her friend from high school. And they've remained friendly, but they're not like in each other's lives, but they both live in the Boston area. And she, at the beginning of the book, she catches her then boyfriend cheating on her, having sex with another woman. She breaks up with him, but she's going to be in her friend's wedding as the maid of honor, and her ex is going to be the best man. So she needs a really like special kick-ass date. And so she's telling her football friend about, how she needs a really kick-ass date and to show she's gotten over him. And he's like, well, I'll do it. You could marry me. And it just comes out of nowhere. But she talks about like how they're friendly, but they're not like in each other's pockets. And it was just this
Wait,
really
he
weird.
goes from "I'll be your date" to "you can marry."
Right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
in the same
Like,
conversation at
that's
dinner.
a joke.
Like, why does he need her to marry him?
Well, because
Because he'd been in love with her for always.
well, yes, he is pining,
Okay.
but they were talking about how things would just be easier for him. Like he wouldn't have the random groupie showing up or anything. Things would be easier for him. And she's always imagined herself married and having kids by this age. And I don't know, you guys. Like it just kind of came out of nowhere. And I'm
It
like,
sounds a
I'll be your
little bit
date.
like
You can marry
in a
me.
jam wash.
yeah,
Because it's the same type of like
it is.
situation.
And
that-
it's
yeah.
not. So I thought she was the teacher at the small school that, what's the little girl's
Jenny
name?
goes to.
Jenny
Jenny.
goes to. She's not. She's one of her teacher friends from Boston when she had to go back to the
Oh,
tulip
okay.
farm. So,
I forgot that one of the Bad Brothers books by Jacinda Wilder has a former football player.
Canadian
yeah.
football. We haven't talked about Canadian football.
Facts.
Maybe we should have gone with Canadian football. Did you see she's writing a new
It came out.
Yes.
Bad Apple?
came out-
It's
Oh,
it's
no,
out
it doesn't come out
wide.
yet.
It's not in KU until Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They got a lot of stuff like in the works. I'm gonna.
So is
chat
Bad
with them
Apple in
soon.
next gen?
I think so.
Oh, I didn't catch that. I meant to look and I totally forgot.
Hello.
I think it might be.
Reminder, she still owes us Bad Shifters in a different world.
I will tell them that they owe us that. They have been busy.
I know. I want to read their Small Town. It's on my Kindle.
Oh yeah, that
Mine
looked
is on
really
my
good.
Kindle also, which I need to do before I talk to them. I got time, don't you worry.
Okay. Anyway, anything else we should talk about bookish wise?
Ooh, Delia Bad, whoever Delia Bad is.
I don't know. Do they talk about who Delia is? I don't know. Anyway, so I announced our March lineup. That One Regret by Carrie Elks. Whitney, My Love by Judith McNaught. You probably are not going to want to read that one, Jenny.
Okay.
It's head hopping, third person.
Oh yeah, I'm out.
But is there consent? I don't think there's consent in either.
Yeah, probably not. It's probably
Well, sorta. He
Please
arranges.
no.
He arranges their marriage, but she consents. She just doesn't know she's consenting to the Duke.
Have you read Kaylee Ryan?
Yes,
Yes.
She had a
Jenny.
whole year.
we did the
of,
baseball
Jenny.
together, Lindsay. I'm the one who told
Oh,
you
no,
to.
read it. But Jenny read Kaylee Ryan.
oh yeah. Yeah.
Haley Ryan is our mac and cheese.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, well, Jenny would like her a lot if she hasn't read it.
I don't know why we're giving book
every
rights
time I
to
read one of her
Jenny.
books, I'm just like, could you write a more perfect man? Like this is literally like they're just like always textbook green flags all the way.
There are.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, though, I sometimes like a red flag. I don't know.
We all know I like her red
We
flag.
do know you like a red flag. I was thinking about the dark episode that we did on Sunday, and I'm like, oh, we never talked about this book, and we never talked about this book. We're gonna have to do a whole nother dark episode.
It is Sebastian and Drew's daughter.
Oh. I am so in it.
Okay, so Whitney, My Love, and then what's after that?
Right.
Oh, The Legacy by Dylan Allen, which I'm super excited that we're finally.
So I will preface this. It is very much like this reads like a 90s like
Soap opera.
TV nighttime soap opera.
Yeah.
So if that is not your if this is not your jam, like I was very in the mood. I was very in the mood for this when I read it. So
I'm ready for a saga, and I feel like this book is going to give us the saga. And then The Broker by Nikki Sloan, which is all just spice based on what I've seen in the reviews. So,
I mean, a lot of her books are.
We're going to explore some kink together, friends.
There's not always a lot of plot in a Nikki Sloan book.
You know what, though? But after like a saga, we might not need
That's true.
plot.
We probably will need that. There might be a lot of red flags, too, which we will enjoy.
Right. And Jenni won't.
She often has red flags.
I mean,
Big March is not Jenny's month.
No, it does not
which
sound
is
like it.
going to be rough because Amanda's out for half the month. So, Jenni.
Yeah.
It might be me and you back.
Well, or we just make Jenni read them.
I'll read them. I'll just have opinions.
She'll have opinions, and then she'll stop being our friend, and then
Opinions are good. They're entertaining.
they are entertaining. And,
Not every book is for every person.
that is right. That is right. Special shout out to Finding Home by Lauren Rowe that came out today.
I need to get to that.
I need everybody to sit their butts down and read that. You liked
not be sick.
You liked Swoon, you liked Smitten. Jenni, don't give me looks.
I know. I just don't have. The world is on fire. Becky.
Yeah, so escape into some romance with a rock star that's broody. Cheese and rice.
Stacy wanted to know, does Whitney have an audio?
If it might, I don't know. I've memorized that book. I might even pull down my mass market and, sniff the pages and read it.
You're going to actually read a paperback?
This book, yes. Yes, I will. I have to tell you, Maisie Hartz might be the sister of my soul. Did you see her stuff on Threads today, Amanda?
I saw, she was talking about the mass market. Yeah.
We didn't kill mass market. They murdered it. That is the quote.
I was like, she's making my heart hurt right now.
I mean, she is right.
She is right. She is.
And then in all the comments and everybody was like, oh, I loved how I could stick it in my purse or my pocket. And I was like, stop.
That's the thing. It fit in your back pocket. And I was always a back pocket book person.
Yeah. There's something.
You read paperbacks, Leah?
Yes, when I was young and dumb.
Mass markets,
they were
all the same size. They were never varied in size. And even if the series covers changed, they were all the same size.
All the same size, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Often the spines were the same, though, just the cover
Yes.
Yeah. And you had step backs and clinch covers.
Yes,
They're
Lindsey,
magical.
I ruined many a book because I read them so much.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I have my original copy of Paradise, and the pages are falling out, and the cover's gone. It's beautiful.
I used to only have paperbacks that I would read, and then that changed. Well, and that's all your fault.
I used to be a strictly physical girl, but then after I had the kids, I needed something easier. So
the amount of mass market paperbacks that got dropped on my child's head,
Yeah. It's wonder my children did not have a permanent concussion because I would drop books on their heads often.
It does
Oh,
not
that's
look like Whitney,
fun.
My Love, has an audio. So sorry about that. We'll have to eyeball read it. Okay.
But I think all the other three do. Two of them are in Hoopla. That one, Regret, and The Legacy are both in Hoopla.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nikki Salone's book is in Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah.
In addition to the others being in KU. So I think it's fine.
Well, and Whitney, My Love is currently in KU. So I think all
Is
four
it?
books, it is. All 4 books next month, I think, are KU picks.
I think so.
Good, because my library does not have it.
Oh, no. How do they not have Judith McNaught? It's a classic.
I don't think mine has
My
it.
Well,
library
but you know,
is terrible.
They didn't come out in ebook form until 2017. Judith
Yeah,
McNaught books
I'm
didn't come out in
curious.
ebook form until 2017.
Yeah,
so-
I'm actually surprised they don't have it because I mean, well, I think my library like cycles in like older, they'll cycle stuff in and then cycle it out. So
Yeah.
they may just be like on a cycle out with this one. So I got it.
Well, anyway, Whitney, My
My
Love is
library is just
currently
really
in Kindle Unlimited. So I think all 4 books next month are in Kindle Unlimited.
Perfect.
Anyway, before we say goodnight, is there anything anybody else wants to talk about now that we've rambled for 15 minutes?
Oh, my library does have it. Shocker.
There you go. But it's also in Kindle Unlimited. You don't have to use
Well,
library.
I know, but I was curious.
Okay. So that's a wrap on this episode. We hope you enjoyed our deep
Sorry.
dive into Unexpected Rush by Jaci Burton, even though we did not enjoy the book. Hope you enjoyed our discussion.
And then some.
Right. We'll be back Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the YouTube, where we will be discussing bakeries and coffee
Bakeries and
shops.
coffee
Is he
shops.
having-
Bakeries and coffee shops. And then we're back next week where we are diving into That One Regret by Carrie Elks. And all you people better freaking read it. That's all I got to say.
I read this book already. I have
Yes.
read it already. I will be rereading it because I need to remember a couple things. But I've read this one. Thank you very much.
Better all be reading it.
That was the whole purpose of us picking this book.
March
No,
is all
Becky-
about me.
March is all Becky's picks. It's
March
books
is
she
all
may
about
wanna
Becky.
s-
Either books I want to read or books that I need you people to read. Why is it not
I'm fine
Winterville,
with-
though? Because Winterville is in third person, and some of these people don't do well in third person. And That One Regret is in first person. So I felt like
Winter.
I was giving someone
It's like
a
I'm making
bone.
you read the books. I'll at least find one that you.
I don't remember
like.
Winterville being third person.
I don't either.
It is
Yeah,
not.
Oh,
she didn't move
yeah.
to first until this series, right?
No, all the Heartbreak Brothers are first.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, we'll see you back here Sunday night, people, and then back on Wednesday because y'all are going to read Carrie Elks or I'm going to be mad. So until next time, everyone.
Happy reading, everybody.
Find us on Instagram at BuzzingAboutRomance or on Twitter at BuzzingRomance. If you like the podcast, please leave a review. If you'd like to support us directly, join the Bookcase and Coffee Patreon and receive exclusive content only available to Patreon members. Check out bookcaseandcoffee.com for our on-the-shelf show notes.